It was the news hockey fans expected after over 100 NHL players were placed in the league's COVID-19 protocols, and the league had to postpone their season because of various outbreaks. No NHL players will be competing in the upcoming Olympics in Beijing. The Canadian press and a number of outlets reporting that NHL players will not be going to the 2022 Beijing Olympics. A formal announcement from the league is expected within the next 24 hours. The news comes just a day after the league put their season on pause until after Christmas because of COVID outbreaks.
They are going to start playing again at the 27th, or at least try to. But they wanted players in a day earlier to test. They wanted testing to resume on the 26th so they could find out when players came back who's positive and who isn't. And also they didn't want players to go to games on the 27th and then not be able to play because they tested positive there. They wanted to try to protect it as much as they possibly could.
The NHL announcing late Monday that the league would pause their season starting December 22nd with a return to play on the 27th. 2 games were scheduled for Tuesday night, but the game between the Flyers and Capitals was canceled earlier in the day because of COVID-related issues. And teams across the league entered more players into the league's COVID protocols, including another 4 players from the Leafs. In total, 17 members of the franchise are in the league's protocols, and since December 13th, the NHL has had to postpone 46 games because of COVID-19 outbreaks. The Raptors traveled to Chicago on Tuesday afternoon for their game on Wednesday against the Bulls, and that game is in jeopardy. As of Tuesday afternoon, the team has 7 players in the league's COVID protocols, adding Fred VanVleet, Scotty Barnes, Precious Achiuwa, and Malachi Flynn to the list that already includes Gary Trent Jr., Delano Banton, and Pascal Siakam. This game hasn't been postponed yet because the NBA has amended the rules so that teams are able to sign players to a 10-day contract to help fill in for the other players who are in protocols. So if tip-off does happen on Wednesday, be prepared to see a lot of new faces on that Raptors bench.
No plans right now to pause the season. We've, of course, looked at all the options, but frankly, we're having trouble coming up with what the logic would be behind pausing right now. I think we're finding ourselves where we sort of knew we were going to get to for the past several months, and that is that this virus will not be eradicated, and we're going to have to learn to live with it. And I think that's what we're experiencing in the league right now. That
was NBA Commissioner Adam Silver in an interview this afternoon saying they have no plans to put the season on pause and that 90% of the COVID-19 cases in the league are of the new variant. For City News, I'm Lindsay Dunn.